Washington is full of professional protests, right? And so cops are used to dealing with it every day. I think you're going to see this scene over and over again. What you're seeing at the White House now, what you saw in the Capitol on Wednesday is going to keep repeating. There is a professional infrastructure that the left has built to create TV optic moments to send a mixed message to the American people. It's part of the propaganda, right? They want Americans to think that there's a widespread dissent in America and that people do not support the Israeli incursion into Gaza to protect its people, to remove Hamas from there. That's not true. The polling shows it's an 80-90% issue. But these professional protesters aligned with the far left, aligned with the likes of Rashida Tlaib, they're going to try to create a false optic that America is at odds with itself, that it doesn't support Israel. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter how many of these protests we see, the American people are firmly, squarely with the Israeli people today, and they overwhelmingly repudiate the horrific crimes against humanity that Hamas committed starting on October 7th. So this is just an optic show, a George Soros-like optic show. At the end of the day, it's not going to dissuade Americans right now. We will not forget what happened on October 7th, just like we haven't forgotten about what happened on 9/11.
Yeah, John.
Well, if I could just piggyback, I'm sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
No, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if I could just piggyback off of what John is saying. John, obviously, you're absolutely right, as you always are, on numbers and stories, and that's exactly what we've seen with the numbers on this specifically. But the sad part is you have the visuals, and you have a media that's going to play right into those visuals, and all of a sudden you have this narrative. It's back to the 5-10% that are driving the coverage in the latte-sipping echo chamber of Washington, D.C., and that's the big problem here, because that's how things get defined. And look what the New York Times did the other day, blaming the Gaza hospital attack on Israel. And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, they're trying to burn down the Israeli embassy in Amman, Jordan.